Hi, this is Sankar Sharma. Greetings. I got some exciting news for you. You have recently requested me that I should teach you all about stock trading and all about stock investing. So I have decided to take up on that challenge. I'm going to run a series on stock investing, a series on stock trading. That means we're going to cover exciting topics on stock trading and stock investing. It's going to be education for you, and it's going to run into several videos, several sessions, because I can't cover all of it in one session. It'll be very long for you, and you will not get the best out of it. At the same time, I wanted to make sure A, it adds ton of value, B, you can learn at the same time, maybe earn some money along the way, and also I wanted to give it to you step by step in a easy to digestible manner. So without further delay, let's get into this and see what we can do. I want you to subscribe to this channel so you won't miss any of the lessons. Hi, welcome back. First of all, in this particular video, I want to talk about the foundation of stock investing. I wanted to make this video series very exciting for you because what's the point in me just talking with theory when you can't really translate that into a usable, practical experience in real life. So I thought, why don't I do this way? Why don't I take a theory and combine that with something that is really useful and at the same time help you learn and make it exciting. So that's my objective for this. And anything we talk here is not a recommendation of buy or sell, but it is going to be for your educational purposes. Let's get started. This whole series is going to be containing several videos, maybe 26 to 45. I don't know the exact number. In this series, I want to talk about, first of all, Warren Buffett. As you know, Warren Buffett is one of the world's best investors. He is a value investor. What does it mean? There are three ways to analyze the market, to analyze the stock. Fundamental analysis, which is basically going and looking into all the numbers of balance sheet of a company and decide whether you should buy or sell that stock. Second, value analysis. Value analysis teaches you whether you should buy or sell a stock based on value. In other words, you buy a stock when it is looking cheaper, you sell it when it becomes expensive. That is a premise of value investing. Warren Buffett is greatest investor of all times, and he is a value investor. Now, even Bill Gates takes his tips on stocks in the stock market. Now, I thought, why not we pick the stocks that Warren Buffett owns in his portfolio and go analyze it. That way you learn, and also maybe in the process you may be able to earn some money. Wouldn't that be great to go and look at, what a billionaire does and see if we can replicate at least some part of his success by knowing what he knows. Now, if you've known Warren Buffett, he's a big follower of Benjamin Graham. Now, if you don't know who Benjamin Graham is, let me introduce you. Benjamin Graham is Warren Buffett's mentor. Wouldn't it be nice to learn from mentor's mentor? It would be great, wouldn't it? So I want to introduce you to two books. These two books, I bought this recently. This is my third or fourth edition. I think it's my fourth edition. I have a few more copies of this, but they've seen better days. So I have a new version. By no means, I want you to run and buy these books. I'll explain why in a minute. Let's get started with, first of all, book titles. The first one is called The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham. I don't know if you can see and read on the top, it says, by far the best book on investing ever written, Warren Buffett. So it is one of his favorite book. He's mentioned this in many, many speeches, many, many times. Now, you have one problem in this book. This has got about 625 pages. So you may find it a little bit dry if you never learned about the terminology or never know about financials. It could feel a bit dry for you. So that reason, I'm not asking you to rush and buy it. But I have a proposal. I have an offer in a minute. I'm not buying or selling anything. I'm not telling you buy or sell anything. Let's see what I have in store. You ready? You ready? I got something special as well. So we talked about first book that Warren Buffett recommended. The second book is the 1934 edition of Security Analysis. This is probably my fourth copy of this book, 1934 edition, because that's what Warren Buffett recommends. As you can see from the thickness of this book, this is the elder brother of the other book, Intelligent Investor. This is 675 odd pages. Now that is heavy read. I don't want you to use this as a pillow. I don't want you to put this in the shelf and make your shelf development. This is all designed for self-development, but this is heavy as well, hardbound, and this is soft copy. So these are the two books, right? As good for value investing. Now, here is the deal. I want to make a video on this, 1 hour video on this, 1 hour video on this, but I need your help. When the number of subscribers on this channel hit 20,000, I'll make a video on the Intelligent Investor first. When we hit 40,000, I'll make a 1 hour video on this. Now, when the number of subscribers on this channel hit 1 million, of course, with your help, I will do a whole day session on this whole thing, the value investing and fundamental analysis. Deal? Deal. Now, I'm assuming you have at least 100 people you know in your friends and family circle. You can let them know that we are covering this series on investing and trading. They can also thank you later. They can also enjoy a session. What's more fun than, learning it along with your family and friends? So I recommend you please tell your friends and family to subscribe to this channel so that when I release these videos on investing education and trading education, you all will be notified by YouTube and you can get the follow-on series. This is going to be a long series. Mostly I'll try to do it in like a 10-15 minutes video each time so that it's not too much for you to consume and you can find 15 minutes in a day easily. And that way you can learn and maybe earn along the way, if possible, because you are going to learn so many interesting things. So that's the deal. That's what we're going to do. So now the question is, where will you find the stocks which Warren Buffett is holding in his portfolio? How do you find that? Don't worry, I'll teach you. I'll teach you everything. I'll teach you. So what we're going to do, we're going to pick each of the stocks in his portfolio and we're going to analyze it. So along the way, you may learn a thing or two, or more than a thing or two about value investing, fundamental analysis, and how you go about looking into a stock under the bonnet. Deal? Deal. Okay. Now, before I go show you all the details about Warren Buffett's stock portfolio and where you can find the holdings, I want to share with you an important story. In the 1990s and 2000, there used to be a company called Kodak. I don't know, some of you may be too young. You may not know about Kodak. Kodak used to be a pioneer, top-notch company in photography industry. Those days, you will have to buy a reel and put that reel, you'll get like 32 photos. You put that reel in a camera, you take the roll and put it in, pull it up, and then roll it and start clicking. As you click, it'll keep rotating out and it'll take pictures one at a time. And then you take that reel out and give it to somebody to develop, and you get your photos. So it used to be that you're limited to like a 32 photos per reel. And every time you have to buy those reels, Kodak reels. And there are different reels depending on the weather. If you go into Switzerland, you got to buy a different type of camera roll. If you're going to Greece in a sunny place, you got to buy different type of roll. because they're based on the exposure and things of that nature. I don't know if you know this. One of the Kodak buildings in England was featured in a film, Gregory Peck's film, Omen 3, I think, if my memory serves me. So we are talking about the company Kodak. Kodak was listed in stock market. Now, why am I talking about Kodak when we should be talking about Warren Buffett's stock portfolio? We'll get that. We'll get that. There is a connection. So Kodak was doing very well. It was like it had no competition. It was number one in photography. It was the brand was associated directly with photography. The moment you say photography, Kodak used to go as a synonym. Now, 2012, I think Kodak declared bankruptcy and then it got relisted. I think you should still find it in the stock market, Kodak company, I'm sure. But I was about to invest heavily in the Kodak in the 1990s, late 1990s and 2000, early 2000s. But something stopped me from investing in Kodak at the time. And let me take you to this book, right? I bookmarked that page because I wanted to share with you information on that book. It said, I don't know if it's in the right page. Yeah. So I want to mention something from this book. A year and a half of declining business was sufficient to outweigh the beneficial influence of 30 years of continuous reinvestment of profits. So in plain English, that means if you have a business that is continue to decline for more than 6 quarters, that is trouble. So that's what happened with Kodak at the time, and it stopped me from investing. And had I invested all my money at the time that I was planning to invest, the company has gone bankrupt, I would have lost all that money. So there are some gems in this book, and there are gems in this book as well. Now, in this book, there is something interesting as well I want to read. So there is a definition of value investor in this book, which is simply put, you buy a stock when it's cheap, you sell it when it becomes expensive. And it also said, apparently one study claimed a dollar held continuously in stocks would have grown $11.71. But if you had gotten out of stocks right before 5 worst days of each year, your original $1 would have grown to, you ready? $987.12. So what does it tell you? It tells you that if you can find a way to avoid the big down days in a year, you will make a lot more money. Give it a thought. So those are two golden nuggets. One, if your company continues to perform badly, even though it's been performing great over 30 years, it starts to perform badly for 6 quarters, you got to eject that company from your portfolio. And the second lesson right there was, if you can avoid holding 5 worst days of a year, you will make a lot more money. Now, which are those 5 worst days and how do you avoid them? I'll cover as we progress into the lessons. But there are two golden nuggets right at the outset before we get going. Now, let's go to the topic in hand, which is, how do you know what stocks Warren Buffett is holding? Remember, Warren Buffett is a billionaire. So how are we going to find out how many stocks he's holding in his portfolio? You can't call him, you can't reach him. A meeting with Warren Buffett means you have to spend millions of dollars. Maybe you will get a time with Warren Buffett. So how do you find out what a billionaire, the oracle of investing, is holding in his portfolio? Let's give it a thought. Do you know how to find out? Wouldn't it be interesting? Are you not interested to know what Warren Buffett, the billionaire, is holding in his portfolio? I bet you are. So without further delay, let's reveal the suspense. Let's break the suspense and show you how to find out Warren Buffett stocks. For that, I have to take you to SEC website. That is government's website. So SEC stands for Security and Exchange Commission. So Security and Exchange Commission has got what is called a 13F filing. 13F filing. Anybody who's managing assets more than 100 million, they should notify SEC about their holdings. What is AUM? Let me introduce you some terms first so you can be comfortable when we talk about it during the course of these videos. Do not skip any video, otherwise you're going to miss something other than it won't make sense to your later stages. So do not miss any video. Watch it slowly, completely to the end. AUM is most often used in the industry. AUM means assets under management. If a fund manager or institution is holding more than 100 million in their portfolio, they should notify 13F filing. So 13F filing is a quarterly report that must be filled by all institutional investment managers with at least 100 million in assets under management. As we said, assets under management is AUM. Now, knowing this, how do you find out Warren Buffett stocks? Then where exactly we should look for those stocks in SEC's website? So we talked about briefly 13F. If you want to know more about 13F, it's here. So as you can see, the 13F is a reporting form filled by institutional investment managers, etc. They should have over 100 million. It gave you a definition of institutional investment manager. Is an entity that either invests in or buys or sells securities for its own account. So in this case, we're going to look at Warren Buffett's company that is called Berkshire Hathaway. So Berkshire Hathaway holds stocks, and these stocks are listed in the 13F filing. So here is the listing of these stocks. So we're going to take each one and analyze. This is the filing that is made on 30th of June. So this is a quarterly filing. So every quarter you're going to get a new filing. Now, after listing this, if Warren Buffett bought and sold some, it will not show up until the next one. Now you notice Apple straight away. I know your eyes are getting attracted to American Express and Apple and maybe Amazon. We'll cover everything in greater detail. Patience, patience, patience. Now let's go to SEC. Can a foreign institutional investment manager or foreign institutional investment managers required to file Form 13F? Answer is yes. Must an institutional investment manager file Form 13F even if it is not an SEC regulated investment advisor? Answer is yes. So going further, should a manager use the trade date or the settlement date for reporting purposes? The trade date, not the settlement date. What's the difference? Trade date is when someone said, okay, I want to sell 10 Apple shares, example. That is the trade date. The settlement date may be what is called trade plus 1 date or trade plus 3 dates, 3 days, etc. So normally the settlement dates are defined differently. In the olden days, the settlement day used to be 10 days, and then it was 3 days, etc. Now, because the digital is a little bit faster, but there is a difference between the trade date and the settlement date. Okay, now we know it is a trade date, the date it was executed. Now here is a list of all the stocks that the investment oracle Warren Buffett is holding in Berkshire Hathaway's portfolio. Now, wouldn't it be nice if you go through each of these and decipher using what Warren Buffett's mentor, Benjamin Graham told to do, because this is book, as I said, is recommended by Warren Buffett. So is this book. Now it would be nice if we can use the principles on that and see if we can apply that to each and every trade in this list. That is exciting. At least it's exciting to know that you now know a way to look at all the Warren Buffett's holding stocks in Berkshire Hathaway. And the next piece is to use the fundamental analysis, value analysis to these stocks, analyze them one by one. Great, right? That sounds great. Amazing. So let's get started. In this video, I wanted to basically summarize that we talked about value investing briefly. We talked about fundamental analysis. As we said, fundamental analysis is looking into the balance sheet of the company. Value investing is basically if a stock or asset is cheap, we buy, and it becomes expensive, we sell. That's the premise of value analysis. And also we looked at how to find stocks by an institutional investor, how to find out the stocks they hold in their institutional investment portfolio. In this case, we took the example of the great billionaire investor Warren Buffett, and we looked at his holdings in Berkshire Hathaway that are listed here. And to find out the list, we went to the Security Exchange Commission, the US Security Exchange Commission, and then we went into 13F filing, and we looked at the recent filing, which happened to be June 30th, I think June 26th, or yeah, 30th of June. So the next one may be due in the near future, but we'll review when we get there. So that is the essence of this video. With your help, I want to get to the 40,000 subscribers as soon as possible so that we can do 1 hour video of this, 1 hour video of this, contents of those. And then maybe at the time you can think of buying if you want. At the moment, I'm not recommending anything to buy or sell. Secondly, when we hit 1 million subscribers in this channel, and the channel shows 1 million subscribers, I'm going to do complete 1-day training on fundamental analysis and value analysis. So without further delay, let's get cracking. And I'll see you in the next video in the series. This is going to be a video series of 26 to 46 videos on investing, especially on the value investing to start with. And then I'll do a separate series on trading. In the meantime, please share, ask your friends, share this channel information and share this video, and ask your friends and family to join us in this journey on investing, on this journey on trading, so that they can also get educated in investing and trading. Do send it to your spouses as well, so that your entire family can understand all about investing and trading and be financially educated, financially liberated, so that you can build wealth, build and grow wealth, generational wealth. So on that note, this is Sankar Sharma signing off. I'll see you in the next episode, next video. In the meantime, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, share it with your spouse, friends, and family. Thank you so much. See you soon. Bye for now. Sankar Sharma signing off.